One of the most popular questions UK viewers send me surrounds flights over people, and since the new UK drone rules came into place, what are the rules specifically for the drone they are flying? This video will give you clear and simple guidance to hobbyist flyers. As regular viewers of Geeksvana will be aware, we have worked to bring you a series of videos focused on the new UK drone rules, which have come into effect since the start of 2021. These rules allow hobbyists to fly their drones in many situations which would not have previously been allowed. Flying our smaller drones in towns and villages is possible. Now we are allowed to fly in congested areas, depending on the drone you're flying and with which certificate. To find out more, you can watch our new UK drone rules playlist, which is linked in the description below. And to get more updates like this one, hit the subscribe button. We can probably all understand why flying over people can be an issue. So it is to be expected that there will be some kind of rules surrounding who you can fly over. To make things simple, we're talking about one subcategory of airspace where flights over people by hobbyists is possible, which is A1. This airspace is close and over people, usually in a congested area. Drones which are either under 250 gram legacy drones, which means anything purchased before the end of 2022, like your DJI Mini 2 and alike, or even self-build drones which are sub 250 grams, but they do need to have a maximum speed of less than 19 meters a second, can fly over uninvolved people. So for instance, when you are out flying your drone in the park and you fly across to capture some footage of the trees or the waterfall, etc., then you can fly over people to reach that position with a sub 250 gram legacy drone. Once we have the C label system in place, you'll be able to fly C0 drones over people as well. C0 drones will have a sort of subclass with both toy and non-toy sub 250 gram drones holding the C0 label, but both will be permitted to fly over uninvolved people. There will also be a new class of drone, the C1 class, which will be allowed to take flights over people which are not intentional. Sounds strange, doesn't it? Unintentional flights over people. Essentially what this means is that the new C1 class drones, which will be less than 900 grams maximum takeoff mass, can be flown over people in unexpected circumstances. So for instance, going back to the example of flying in a park, if you are flying a C1 drone and someone walks out from the trees and under the path of your drone, as long as you take appropriate and immediate action to avoid them, then your flight over them is not deemed illegal. There's also an allowance for A2 CFC holders to fly sub 500 gram legacy drones like the Parrot and Affy in the A1 airspace, but again with no intentional flights over people. So a legacy drone which is sub 250 grams like the DJI Mini 2 or similar can be flown over people. This will be joined eventually by the C0 label drones once they're released. A2 CFC holders, even with a C label drone, will only be able to get within a maximum of 5 meters with their C2 drone in slow mode, but no overflight whatsoever. The new UK drone rules also talk about no flight whatsoever by any drone over crowds of people. What does that mean in practice and policy? Is that 100 people? 1,000? For guidance on this, I would turn to the CAA Cap 722, specifically 2.1.3.4. It reads, assemblies of people have been defined by an objective criterion related to the possibility for an individual to move around in order to limit the consequences of an unmanned aircraft that has become out of control. There are no strict numbers defined above which a group of people would turn into an assembly of people, as different situations would result in different conclusions, based on the ability of people within that group to escape from any risk posed by the UAS operation. So when you're out flying your sub 250 gram drone around and over people, you need to assess whether or not those individuals could clear out of the way should the drone get into any trouble. This is the policy the CAA will use when assessing any issue which arises from an incident. The CAA also lists these examples of assemblies of people to provide further guidance to drone flyers. These again are for guidance, and you will notice it states things like beaches and parks on a sunny day. But this isn't telling you not to fly over people at your local park, but warning that you are more likely to find groups of people who cannot easily move out of the way in these types of situation. Apart from the main CAP 722 document, you can also find a simple chart explaining most of this within CAP 2012. There's a linked in the description to this. So hopefully that provides some clarity in terms of flying over people and when you're allowed to do it and with which drone. Flying a drone and recording video this close to people does always open up certain issues in terms of privacy, and this again is a question we get asked a lot at Geeksvana. We're working on a couple of videos to clarify privacy issues for UK drone flyers, and as with this video, once you break it down, it does actually become pretty straightforward and simple to follow. For more on that, remember to hit the subscribe button if you're new here, and if you're one of the awesome people still watching this video, please hit the like button. I'd really appreciate it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.